Hi, my name is Michelle Colon, and I'm your child's teacher for Introduction to Computer Science this semester. And I'd like to take some time now to tell you a little bit about the course. So Introduction to Computer Science will be using the Java programming language to help your child understand the fundamentals of computer programming. We stress a lot of algorithm design and the logic required to complete those algorithms. It's a lot of computational based things, a lot of logic based things. We're not just dragging and dropping some things to make a game. We're really diving into what programming is and the basic fundamentals of it. So because we kind of focus on logic and algorithm design, a lot of our exercises and projects will be linked from the different areas that we like to focus on here at MATES. So the data analysis, statistics, research, and the general math curricula as well too. So Algebra 1, Algebra 2, we're tying in those things as well too. As they write their programs, one big thing that will be stressed is the efficiency of their design. So not just solving a problem, but what's the best way to use our Java code to solve that problem. They'll also be commenting their code along the way too, having to explain and remark on what their different lines mean. And so my third bullet point on here indicates the major topics that we're going to address as we write our code. So different control structures, selection structures, if statements, if else statements, iteration structures, which are loops, while, do while, for loops. We'll focus a lot on input output statements, data types, functions, files, arrays, inheritance. Object-oriented programming is a big thing since Java is an object-oriented language. We'll throw some stuff in there with graphical user interfaces as well too, to make our code look a little more exciting there. So we will also be looking at the history of computers and technology along with current events. You'll see on the next slide when we get to our daily routine what I mean with that. And then we will also be stressing proper file management. So keeping your files organized and in folders and properly labeled. And I'll also be making sure that the students understand how to use the basic Microsoft programs like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and their Google counterparts. So Docs, Sheets, Slides, making sure that they know how to use those for their assignments, particularly for Excel and Sheets, how we can use those for basic data analysis and statistics. And then we'll also stress responsible use of technology, so using the computers appropriately. And so on a normal day, what would happen is your student walks in, takes their seat. There's 2 to 4 questions on the board, which are a math-based warm-up. And my purpose with doing that is to just help them stay in line with their transition from Algebra 1 last year to Algebra 2 in the spring, making sure that they're up to date on that computation still, and also, gearing them up to be ready for our class here so that their minds are ready to go and that they're settled in. That only takes 5 minutes or so. And then if there are any current events in technology, we would discuss those at that point. So last week we were talking about the iPhone 13 release. So anything that kind of pops up in the technology world that we can tie in, we'll talk about. And then from there, we'll go into a lecture, which for the most part is me showing them some examples of different code and how it's being interpreted by our software. And then they'll get some time to practice that on their own. And as they're practicing, I'm walking the room, helping them out and working together on that. If they finish early, then they're allowed to kind of explore and take their programming a little bit deeper. And so for the grading procedure, I use a points-based system. So every assignment will have a particular number of points, and they can earn up to those points. So you can see on the example here on the screen, there's a couple homework assignments, a quiz, a test. Looks like this student had 135 earned points out of 158. So their grade turns out to be an 85. This class will have a lot of lab assignments, which are very easy for the students to do well on. They just need to show me that they've practiced. They need to show me that they have attempted it. I'm there to help them through it. So the lab assignments should be very good grades. The tests and quizzes, because there's not always partial credit on those might seem a little lower, but then the lab work kind of balances everything out in the end, since It is just one big bucket of points that are available for them. And so I'll do my best throughout this marking period to keep Parent Portal updated. So you can check that weekly to see what the status of your student's grade is. And if you have any questions at all, whether it's in regards to grading, curriculum, anything like that that you want to ask, please feel free to email me at any time. Or if you'd rather give a call, you can do that. You'll probably get my voicemail, but I'll call you back at the end of the day. The students are using Google Classroom, and so they're very, very familiar with how to use that. They're all set up, good to go. But again, if you guys have any questions on anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm really looking forward to this semester and seeing what we can get to in the world of programming here with your children. Take care and have a great night.